Hello everyone, welcome to Native Mobile Bits. In today's video, we are going to learn about context in coroutine. Let's consider with the help of one very simple example. Let's say we created one coroutine. We already learned that each coroutine will have one scope. Okay, and if you don't know what scope is, you can watch this video. And if you already covered this, let's come back and let's understand that when we create one coroutine, we created this coroutine C1. This will always have one scope, which is this boundary, that in this boundary only this coroutine will execute. So whenever we create this coroutine will have some kind of variable, some kind of information associated with it. Okay, and that is called context of this coroutine. Okay, there can be some variables or some set of data associated with this coroutine. It can be some kind of dispatcher, it can be some kind of data. Don't get confused with what dispatcher is, we are going to cover that. But for now, understand that whenever we create a coroutine, there are some kind of data associated with that coroutine, and that is called context. So in simple words, we can say that context of a coroutine is nothing but the set of variables or data associated with that coroutine. If you want to access any information about this coroutine C1, so you can access that with the help of context. Let's say you want to understand or you want to get the name of this coroutine, with the help of context you can get that. If you want to know that on which thread this coroutine will run, with the help of context you can find that. If you want to set the coroutine on one specific thread, with the help of context you can do that. So context will have multiple things, multiple variables. One will be dispatcher, which will decide that on which thread our coroutine will run. Another thing will be simple set of information like name of the coroutine or something. Let's take one coding example and let's try to understand how we can get the context elements out of our coroutine. For this, let's create one new Kotlin file and let's call it coroutine context. Okay, let's create the main function, and inside this let's create one coroutine with the help of run blocking, and inside this we can use launch. Now we can start a coroutine here, but with the help of our coroutine context, let's try to access some information out of this coroutine. Okay, let's try to use print statement, and let's try to write coroutine name, and with the help of coroutine context let's try to access the name of it, and we can use this get function and we can pass coroutine name dot key. Okay, and let's try to run our function and let's see that what name of our coroutine we get with the help of this coroutine context. So we can see that as of now we are getting coroutine name is null. If you want to set any specific name to our coroutine, so with the help of launch method here, we can pass some kind of name. We can use coroutine name and we can pass here my coroutine, for example. If now we will run our program, we will get this specific name, okay, with the help of coroutine context. So you can see that whenever we are running the program now, we are getting the coroutine name here. And if you will set any other name here, let's say C1, as we were discussing in the example, we will get the coroutine name as C1 with the help of coroutine context. Now we can say that whenever we create one coroutine, by default one coroutine context will be created, and to justify this statement, let's use global scope for now dot launch, and just click on this and go to its declaration. So we can see that global scope is also extending coroutine scope, and by default this global scope is just having one coroutine context variable. Okay, so by default every scope, whenever one new coroutine is created, we get one scope, right? Because every coroutine has one scope, and by default this scope has one coroutine context. So now we can say that whenever we create one coroutine, it has by default one context. So whenever we create one coroutine, every coroutine has one scope. It can be a global scope, or if we go to the launch also, this is having coroutine scope. And here also we have the context. So you can say that whenever you create one new coroutine, every coroutine has one scope. Scope means its boundary where it can execute, and every scope by default has one coroutine context. And that's it for today's video. If you like today's video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I will see you very soon in the next video.